Hi there. So we're going to do a little bit of pajama yoga, and this is going to be quite a kind of hamstring lengthening, splitsy kind of practice, intermediate advanced. So I'll give some options, but right now just come on and lie down. But before you do that, either before or after, I would love it if you could please hit subscribe. It helps so much more than you can imagine. When you're ready, let's get going. Okay, let's get started in child's pose. Allow yourself to feel like you're really arriving and landing here on the mat. Just notice whatever the sensations are that arise, whatever the emotions are that arise. Check in with yourself. How are you today? Allow everything really to settle so that you feel a little bit more grounded here in this moment. Let everything else just drift away if you can. And if you can't, then maybe just loosen the grip. Start to, maybe instinctively start to move through your hips. A little rocking of your head so that you massage the forehead into the ground, circle the wrists. Just creating some gentle movement before you come onto your hands and knees. And feel your way in. Maybe tucking your toes under, giving them a little tap to wake up. Circling your shoulders. Take a couple of cat-cow. Really settle into yourself. Rock the head. And stretch through the side body by reaching your left hand over to the right corner of your mat. And then reach the right hand over to the left corner of your mat. Yeah, feel that extension through the side body. You could do that a couple of times if you want to, or come back to hands and knees, and then shift into your down dog. Take your time to lengthen the hips up to the sky, lifting up high onto your tiptoes before you allow the heels to sink. Draw one knee in, lift up and down on the opposite foot, and then switching sides, draw the other knee in, lifting up and down through the heel. Just feel that lengthening, feel that connection. Make sure you're focusing on your breath. Sometimes I like to close my eyes while I practice. Come onto your knees. Open wide into cactus arms, and then clasp your hands behind you. Take a few rolls of the shoulders. Feel your way into your body. Head. Just noticing the ground beneath you, the sensations, the shoulders, in the belly, in the back of the neck. If it feels good, you could look back, drawing your knuckles down to the floor. Before you bow forwards, tuck your chin right in. We're lifting the hands up high away from the lower back. Maybe a little rock through the shoulders. See if we can join the wrists together. Before you come all the way up, reaching your hands up and bend the elbows, dropping the hands to the space between your shoulder blades. Come now to clasp your hands behind your head, lean back, and then tuck your tailbone, rounding elbows together, draw in. Inhale, arching back. Exhale, curling forwards. Inhale, arching all the way back as far as feels good. And exhale, rounding forwards, tuck your chin. Inhale, arch back, open, open, open. Exhale, draw in before you place your hands on the floor and shift back into your downward facing dog. Take your gaze in between your feet. Let's begin on the right side, lifting the right leg up, circle the ankle, and then extend the right leg all the way out so it's parallel to the floor before you reach up and reach the right toes over towards the left side. Again, right leg parallel to the floor, head on your right side, and then begin making big, wide, generous circles, exploring for yourself. How generous can I be? What can I discover in this movement before I reverse the circles? Moving in the opposite direction. Finally, step the right foot to the outside of your right hand, and you could flex the right toes if you want to. You could even take a little bend in that right knee, but we're feeling into the hamstring. Before we turn to the side, bending your right knee, Right hand to the inside, lifting up, and then straighten the front leg again. Lean all the way back. Bend into the right knee. Sweep your left arm up in Skandasana, lengthening the left leg. And then bring your left hand forwards, right hand forward on the diagonal. Take a little bow. We're opening up that space. Turn back to the top of the mat, maybe straightening the front leg to where it feels like something is happening in the back of that leg before you sweep the right leg up towards the sky. Good, lengthen. Come forwards, bend the right knee, look up. Good, and then step the right foot forward in between your hands. Soften your left knee to the floor. Come to lift up into your low lunge, pressing your left hip forward as you reach back. And then hands come gently to land on the floor. Step back. Maybe you take a vinyasa here, lowering your chest all the way down. Good. Maybe it's an up dog, or maybe today it's a cobra. Shoulders back, lifting your heart. Exhale, make your way back, maybe through a child's pose. Finding yourself eventually back into your downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. Take your time moving in any way that's instinctive. When you're ready, let's sweep that left leg up towards the sky, lengthening, toes reaching up. And then let the left leg come out to the left side, parallel to the floor. And then lift the left leg up, take it over towards the right side without even bending the knee. And soften the left shoulder down. And then bring the left leg back, parallel to the floor on the left side, lifting up again. Make those beautiful, big, wide circles. Circling round, generous, maybe lifting high up on the right tiptoes. And then starting to reverse the circle. What do you notice in your body today? How does this feel as you explore a little bit of this movement through the hip socket? Come to step that left foot to the outside of your left hand and then take a bow. Good. Noticing what the difference is maybe from the left side to the right. Sink your hips down, leaning forwards, and then straightening up again. Left hand to the inside of the left foot, lean back, coming into your triangle pose. Continue to circle your chest towards the sky, and then coming to pivot back, to bend the left knee, straighten the right leg as you drop your hips. Reach your hands diagonally towards the left leg, bow, and then turn back to center. Good. Let's sweep the left leg up high, slowly feeling that sense of unfurling like a flower. And then shifting forward, bend the left knee, like you could imagine touching the toes to your head. Round the spine, step the left foot forward, lower the right knee to the ground, coming back to our low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Reach up and back before you come to float the hands down towards the floor. Pick up the left foot, step back slowly with control, inhale. And you could lower straight down, or sometimes it's quite nice to pause here and lift up and down through the shoulders, coming to connect to that strength before we begin that journey of lowering down onto the belly. Point your toes, lift the chest, maybe even hands moving outside the mat to rise up into your high cobra or your up dog. And then gently make your way, maybe through a high plank back, into downward facing dog. Pedal out your knees, just feeling your way in. Good. From here, take a few little rocks, lifting up onto your tiptoes, moving the hips, rounding the spine. We're going to take a few spinal curls, lengthening the back of the leg, rounding the shoulders over the wrists. Good. Take as many as feels good before we float the right leg back up towards the sky. Take the right leg out to the right side. Now we bend the elbows, lowering down, and the right leg stays to the right side. Lift up into a high cobra. Right leg straight out beside you, and then sweep the right leg all the way over to the left. Good, biggest, widest circle that you can manage, bringing it back. Legs together, lift up into your up dog, and then take yourself back into downward facing. Beautiful, deep in-breath. Nice. Good, when you're ready, we're going to start to float the left leg up high, really feeling an extension and connection. Open the left leg out to the left side, lower in your plank, keeping the left leg extended, point the toes, lift the chest. Feel your way into the space where there's a little activity where you can lengthen through that left leg. Then lifting the leg up and over towards the right side, straight as you can, before coming all the way back in a big wide circle. Oof, making those abductor muscles really work. Lift the chest, sliding forwards before taking the left leg up back into three-legged down dog. Pedal it through, feeling your way in. Now here's a little difference here. It's going to turn the toes outwards, heels inwards, and bend the knees, sinking down. Lift up, maybe adjust the hands as you need to. Again, heels inwards and still high. Bend the knees, opening your knees out to the side. Good, toes outwards, heels inwards, opening up. And then shift the heels to the back of the mat. Lift up high, bend the knees into your crouch, straightening up the back of the legs. Right leg lifting to the sky on our next inhale. Right leg circling out to the right side. Start to bring the weight into the left hand. Reach the right hand up. If you want to grab onto that right foot, you can. If you want to lower the left knee, you can. We're coming into side plank splits variation. Maybe you hold the toe, reach the arm back, Dharma style, before bringing the right foot down and shifting into your transition to triangle. Hold your triangle pose for a moment before you change, lowering down into Skandasana. Bend the right knee, straighten the left. Both legs straighten and bow, Prasarita. You can stay here or take an inversion. If you're in your headstand, forearm stand or handstand, we're opening the legs wide, seeing if we can find that straddle split. Gently, slowly, with control, bringing yourself back. And wherever you are, feel free to come into a big squat or into a wide leg straddle, forward fold, or pancake pose, bringing your chest as low down as you want to. You could place blocks underneath your chest. You could bring yourself onto your elbows. Keep squeezing inner thighs towards one another. Notice how this feels. What can you release on every exhale? Slowly bring yourself back up. Take a lean over towards the right side, left arm overhead. Hold on to that right big toe. Draw the left foot in and we move into compass pose. Right hand on the inside of the right leg. Left hand holding the foot. And if you want to bend the knee, you can. If you want to make circles, go ahead. Slowly shift, turning your chest towards the right leg. Drawing the right leg towards your face in crane. Good. Gently, gently take the right leg behind you. Left foot is forward, knee bent. We're coming into our pigeon pose. Settle yourself here for a moment. Take your time to find the posture before you lower down. Maybe instinctively you want to bend your elbows. Maybe you rest your head down. And then gently bring yourself back up. Extend your left leg out behind you. Your right leg out behind you. Left knee to the ceiling as you lean over to the side. Then right hand behind you. Push your hips up, coming into Wild Thing. Gently lower your bottom down towards the floor. Left knee opens. Hands to the top of the mat. Then lifting the right leg up and round in a circle. Tuck the left toes under. Lift back up into three-legged down dog. Now feel free to lift up and down or to take a few little hops towards an L shape handstand. And taking your time, shifting the shoulders forwards over the wrists, your gaze between the thumbs. Maybe a few jumps, maybe holding that shape or coming to bring the legs together before you lower down. Let's take the left leg up high, left leg out to the left side, lifting up, then move the right hand forward. So we start to take ourselves ready to come into our side plank splits variation. Again, you can lower your right knee down to the floor if that feels better. You don't have to hold that left foot, but if you want to, you can. If you're holding the left foot, you're drawing the leg back behind you, your chest turning towards the sky, shoulder opening before you take that left foot forwards to the top of the mat, bringing yourself into your Trikonasana triangle pose. Flex the front toes, lengthen the side of your body. Gently turn your way, bending that left knee, extending the right leg, come down into your gate pose. Good, now start to straighten the legs, coming into your wide leg forward fold. You can stay here or playfully coming into an inversion once again. Straddle, or maybe this time, if you're upside down, you start to swivel the legs, making shapes, maybe from straddle to split to stag legs. And then coming to bring knees together, opening into diamond, then back to straddle, before you take split legs and straddle again in the opposite direction. And don't worry at all if you're in your forward fold and you don't feel like being inverted today or it's not in your practice. Keep feeling into the backs of the legs, shifting the weight forward into the balls of the feet. And if you're upside down, with control, make your way down. Good. Let's hold the outside edges of the legs, take a bow, and then gently coming up. Shift to bend into the right knee, extending that left leg. Good. And maybe hold on to the right ankle with the left hand and take a side bend. Slowly come back up. Let that right knee lower down to the floor as we move into compass by lifting up the left leg. Hold on to the outside of the left foot. Good. And then turning to face your chest towards the leg, coming to bring the foot up. Maybe it comes up as high as last time, a little higher or lower. Definitely for me, my left side is not as high, but that's okay. When you're ready, you can either make yourself back into your pigeon, right knee forwards, or today I'm opting to move into a full Hanumasana. First of all, on my right side, and then on my left. If that calls to you, go ahead and explore, or settle into your pigeon on the left side. When you're ready, bring yourself into downward facing dog. Pedal out your knees, feeling into the back of the legs. Good. So we've got a fair bit in the legs today. Really exploring, feeling your way in. Good. And maybe let's explore dolphin, so lowering the elbows. Good. Feeling the backs of the legs. If you want to float up into a straddle forearm stand, you can do so. And you can again explore shapes with the legs. I'm taking a variation on scorpion today, but if you fancy keeping your feet on the floor, maybe one leg lifts up after the other. And then eventually let's bring ourselves down into child's pose, knees together, chin tucked in, hands reaching back towards your feet. Take a moment to settle. This exploration that we've gone on, this little journey over the last 20 minutes, and somehow allowing time to fall away. It's the beauty of this practice. When you're ready, bringing yourself onto your back, take a little rock. If you feel like you want to move into a back bend, bridge, or wheel pose. Good. And then lowering down. Rock yourself up, taking a forward fold. Soles of the feet together, knees out. Before you slowly layer yourself down, coming into Shavasana. Allow yourself to arrive here in Shavasana just as we arrived in our child's pose at the very beginning of this short, sweet, intense practice. Can you allow every part of your body to sink? Can you let go of tensions in the body with every single exhale? Just loosening, maybe feeling a little freer in the body, maybe feeling like we've explored something, or like there are things that we can come back to when we come back to this practice. It's the joy of it that we keep discovering more and more every moment, every day, what we're capable of, what we can explore. Sometimes it's more rest, more giving, more compassion. Sometimes it's more resilience, more strength, more tapas, that inner fire. Allow yourself to simply be, knowing you are perfect. You are exactly where you are meant to be. Take as long as you want in your Shavasana, melting into the floor. Your breath soft, your constant companion, and in our practice, our constant guide. Om Shanti. I hope you enjoyed your practice. Have a beautiful rest of your day, your evening, your morning, and please do hit subscribe. It would help me enormously, and I can keep on putting on some more content for you. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your time. Thanks for your practice.